This clip is taken directly from the Acoustic Academy, an online course that teaches you how to produce an acoustic guitar vocal from your home to a professional standard. If you are interested in taking a full lesson from that course for free as a gift from me to you, do click the link below. Until then, enjoy this clip. First thing I want to do is I just want to show you how to professionally set up your reverb or delay effects, all right, often shortened to FX. How to set up your effects in your session, all right? There is a big mistake that a lot of people make, which I'll show you right now, all right? The mistake is this, all right? We have this guitar track right here. This is the channel for the guitar. And we just go here, and we go and find our reverb, whichever reverb we want to use, like this. All right, and we've just stuck it on there. That is a big mistake. That is a big, big mistake. Now, the reason it's a mistake is because then what you would do is you'd go to your vocal, right? And you'd go, okay, reverb, and you'd find the reverb again, or you might even copy and paste, all right? You bring up your mixer like this. Here's your reverb from the guitar, and you copy it over like that. So now your computer has to read two different plugins, and generally reverb and delay and FX plugins take a lot of CPU, all right? They make the computer work really hard. So by doubling up, you know, you've got two reverbs now. If you had, say, you had a session with like 30 tracks in it, you'd be putting one of these plugins on every single track, and that would cause your computer to have to work way, way too hard. All right, so it makes things very difficult. The other thing is, of course, if you put this, if you do this copy and pasty type thing, anytime you want to make an adjustment, you would have to make an adjustment to every single one of these plugins, which would be a pain in the bum. So we're not going to do that. The professional way to do this, the way people have been doing it for years, even before we were using software like this, the professional way to do this is to use what is called a send, all right, an auxiliary send. So essentially what we're going to do is here, you can see it says sends here. Logic is really nice because it actually sets it up automatically for you. So all you have to do, you don't have to set up a channel or anything like that, because Logic will do it for you. Just select bus and click bus 1 or whichever bus you want. And it's automatically set up. You see down here it says auxiliary 1, all right? This is now the auxiliary 1 channel. So if I open up my mixer here, you can see we have guitar, vocal, we have stereo out, then there's a master fader. But this is the new one right here, auxiliary 1. Okay, so it's made that for us. And what we want to do is make sure it's stereo. It's definitely a stereo bus. Okay. And then we can send both our tracks to that. All right. And then we might want to have, so we'll name that one reverb, okay? And we'll make another one. So if I select both of these and do bus 2, and we've added a send, bus 2 send, and we'll call that one delay. So now we have these two auxiliary channels. One is reverb, one is delay. So just quickly, if you're not working in Logic, you might have to do this kind of the other way around. It's nice, Logic makes it easy for you to just, you select a bus and it just creates the auxiliary channel automatically. I want to make sure that's stereo. So if you make sure these channels are stereo channels. So if you're working in a different DAW, you might have to create an auxiliary channel, all right? Create an auxiliary channel, and then you just go back to your, your vocal and your guitar and create a send that is sending to that auxiliary channel, all right? So what exactly is happening here? What is a send? Well, the send is essentially, these sends they've got a little fader on them here, as you can see, like this. And that's sending some of the signal to bus 1, all right? And bus 1 is the reverb here, all right? So right now, if I set it to, say, here, it is sending this much of this track to the reverb bus, all right? And then from the reverb bus, as we can see, output, stereo, out. So from the reverb bus, that is then going to the stereo final fader, all right? So, which means if you were, in this bus, if you were to add something, add a plugin, add an effect, add something, you would be able to adjust how much of the guitar, in this example, you are sending to that effect in that bus. All right, I hope this isn't too complicated for you. It sort of makes sense once you set it up and start going. It does make a lot of sense. Now, the reason this is such a great way to go is because now all you have to do is you have a reverb channel, and you just add your reverb to that channel, whatever reverb you want. All right, here's your one reverb plugin for your whole session. All right, so if you had 30, 40 tracks in this session, you only have to use this one reverb plugin and everything can feed through that. And then you have loads of control as well as to how much reverb you want. So essentially now these sends become like a reverb fader. All right, so you can say, oh, I want just a bit of reverb on the guitar and a lot of reverb on the vocal, like that. All right, so you can then adjust things down to very fine detail and make sure you're getting it exactly how you want, rather than going through each plugin and changing the input output settings and or the wet and dry knob or whatever it is, and having to do everything individually. You can have the one plugin and just go through, and you have essentially like a reverb fader on every single channel. So it's it's an awesome way to do things, and it's the professional way to do things. It's the way mixing engineers always do it. So as your reverb, and we'll get into reverb in a second. And the same thing here with delay. So you could grab whatever you want. Say it's an echo, something like that. You got your echo plugin on the delay channel. And then here, bus 2, you go, I want this much delay, or I want a tiny bit of delay, and you have full control over it. And and anytime you want to make an adjustment, you can just go in here and make an adjustment to that delay, all right, without having to change the delay on each channel, all right. And it's also a way to be more universal with things, all right. So with delay, I suppose you can be a bit more creative with delay, but with reverb, you generally want to keep things the same. So the whole sound should be in the same room. So you'd want to say, like for "Take Me to Church," we were talking about the Hosier song. You would set this up with a church reverb. All right, and then you would be able to dial in how much of that church reverb you want for each instrument, for each mic, for each whatever. You wouldn't want to have all of the instruments in a church and then your vocal in a living room or something like that. It would just sound odd. You want everything to be in the same space, reverberating in the same space. It just makes more sense, all right? And also it glues things together, all right? This is the final reason why it's great to kind of put things all together in a bus. If everything is going through one plugin, it glues things together in a much more realistic way. Let's say you're in a church and the band is playing down one end, all right, and you put a mic right down the other end of the church to pick up reverb. You wouldn't be picking up individual instruments. You would be picking up just the full spectrum of that band playing in the church, all right? You would just be picking up all of the reverb, and essentially that's what this plugin would be doing on this bus. This bus is getting a full spectrum of your reverb all together in a much more natural way. So it just makes a lot more sense in several ways to set things up like this. So this is a great way to set things up. I hope that all made sense to you. I know it's a little complicated. But essentially, yes, you want to send some of your signal to a bus dedicated to each audio effect that you want to be using, whether it's reverb or delay or even distortion, all these other, there's many wonderful other things we can do with sends, but it really enables us to have more control and get a much more natural sound. Well, I hope you enjoyed that snippet from the Acoustic Academy. Once again, if you are interested in taking a full lesson from that course for free, do head into the description. There's a link in there so you can check out that full lesson for free as a gift from me to you. Until the next video, my friends, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao. This clip is taken directly from the Amazon rainforest.